Hey there guys, and as you can tell I am not Ryan. My name's Aarava, or Aarava as my subscribers will know me as. I'm a fellow F1 director and a friend of Ryan's, and he's asked me to guest commentate on this episode of his career mode here in Japan, and I'm only happy to accept, as it's going to be very interesting to see how Ryan does. He's a very fast man with a pad, so yeah, he's qualified in 7th place with a Force India, which is very, very impressive. And now we're going through his setup. And this is the beastly setup you guys are going to want to write down, obviously, because, you know, Ryan, he knows what he's doing, you know, or should do, at least. we'll guess. And we're going to see his race strategy. He's gone on cautious, and he's going to pit on lap 6. So, interesting one. I myself might have gone on aggressive, but obviously he's got a plan set ahead. I'm not going to doubt Ryan. He knows what he's doing, as Kimi Raikkonen does as well. It's good to, you know, remember that. So, he's qualified in 7th. So, you'll be looking to get some nice points, obviously, and on his rival Lewis Hamilton, you'd be looking to maybe beat him. It's going to be hard. Lewis Hamilton's on pole right now, so he's going to have to, you know, have a mega start, or, you know, just a mega strategy and some mega pace. So we'll see. So, here we are. Hamilton on pole. Got Ryan in 7th place, and Paul di Resta in some lowly rubbish position. We don't even care about you, di Resta. Pathetic. So, now we're lining up for the start of the Japanese Grand Prix. 4, 5 red lights. And we're off, and we're going to mix 3 straight away, and he's going to get a nice run on Kimi Raikkonen, the Iceman. And we've got Vettel and Button ahead of us. He's going to go really aggressive into the first corner. Wow, he's going to dive down the inside in the middle of the Red Bulls. Whoa, what a move. He's side by side with Webber now, and he's going to tussle. He's going to push him out onto the grass. And now we're going round down the inside of Fernando Alonso. They touch tyres, but it's a clean move nonetheless, and he's all the way up to 2nd place. What a start by Ryan here. Shot up from 7th to 2nd in a span of, what's that, like 3-4 corners? That is amazing start. And now he's chasing Lewis Hamilton, and he's already up to 2nd, so this is all going Ryan's way right now. He's already catching up to Hamilton as he goes and takes that apex very nicely. And he comes down to the hairpin. This hairpin, you can gain a lot of time on the AI. He stretches down. He did have a look down the inside, thought better of it. He's going around the outside. Can he do it? No, he doesn't. He leaves Hamilton some room, as he should, Ryan is a very respectable driver. He knows what the limits are. So now we're coming through the stadium section. The crowd will be roaring Hamilton's name probably. They wouldn't even know who the hell this rookie is. And now Ryan tries to make him move, thinks better of it, and now he's just going to roll the car through this section, get a nice run off, use the curves, and he's going to come towards 130R. He's going to make a move, gets a nice toe on Hamilton, and we're coming through to 130R. He's going to make a move. He might try down the outside. He does, daring move, and it doesn't work. He goes wide. But now Ryan will have to keep his composure up. He's going to have to want to try it again. Maybe on the pit straight, as he gains a lot of time through that chicane. Hamilton going very slowly indeed. But Ryan's going to want to keep his composure, as I said, as he's going to want to try and make a move down this straight, or maybe the next lap down into 130R. But he's using half the curve, so he might be making a move down here. Tries around the outside. No, he doesn't. He changes down to mix 1 while he does it. So maybe he's waiting it out. We'll see. We'll see. So he's on the back of Hamilton like a bug, just pressurizing him, making him know that he's there, waiting for him to make a mistake. So now we're coming through the nice winding section where you really have to have nice throttle control. No braking necessary in this sector. You just sort of have to feather the throttle when necessary. But Ryan's lost out a tiny bit there as the AI gets some nice traction. And Alonso is behind him, so he's going to have to be wary, but he is concentrating on Hamilton. And that is pretty much all of it, because he is his rival. Hamilton with a bit of a cheeky corner cut there, I think. So now we're coming through to the hairpin. He's going to gain a lot of time on him again. And he changed up to mix 3, so definitely Ryan's got a plan. He's going to try and overtake Hamilton 130R, I'm guessing, because he's changing up to mix 3 every time in sector 3. So I definitely think that's his plan. So we're coming through to the stadium section again. He's going to try down the inside. Whoa, he's side by side with Hamilton. And he's just going to give Hamilton some room. Hamilton runs wide a tiny bit, shaking a bit. His rear is really shaking, but Ryan's just going to get some nice, lovely traction off that corner. He's going to use all the curves. So he's coming up. He's slipstreaming Hamilton. He's going to dink down to the inside of 130R. Side by side. Hamilton backs out of it. And Ryan makes that move done. And it looks like he had the bigger pair of balls compared to Hamilton through that corner. So now we're coming through the chicane, and it looks like he's already gained a bit of a lead on Hamilton already, streaking out. And that Force India is looking very mighty indeed here in Japan. So definitely worth noting down Ryan's setup. So now we're coming through to the first corner here. And he's already streaked out a tiny bit of a lead, half a second there. So that's very good. Button set the fastest lap. But now we've cut to lap 4. And there's a 1.5 lead already. Wow. You have been put down to shame, my man. Down to shame. But Ryan goes wide. Whoa. Whoa. Not a mistake I foresee. Wow. Okay, Ryan made a tiny bit of a mistake there. But he has got a cushion, remember. So that helped him. So, you know, gaining this cushion to Hamilton is a good thing. Because he can afford to make mistakes like that. You know, and still kind of come out better off. So now Hamilton has got the gap down to half a second. I think he had DRS maybe, because I think the DRS detection zone is the middle of the chicane. So we're coming through to sector 1, but now we've cut all the way to lap 6, and now Ryan should be making his pit stop now for those really rubbish hard tyres, the grey wall tyres. It really is like, when you put them on, it's like driving on ice. And wow, Jesus, I only noticed the... Wow, Ryan, you've really worn out those tyres, my man. They're nearly red. Wow, that is not a pretty sight. So he comes into the pit, cuts across the grass a tiny bit. Bit of an odd line, but nevertheless. So coming into the pit stops. He's going to change down to mix 1 to save some fuel, obviously. And he's going to come in for the pits. Let's see what sort of time this is going to be. Make it a good one, Force India. I'm watching. 3.95, basically 4. That is pathetic. This day and age, when Red Bull are making a 2.05 second stop, that is absolutely pathetic. Disgraceful. Ah, God. Ryan's obviously gonna have to go into that boardroom the next day, and he's gonna have a word with them. So now we've cut to lap 7. We're on the back of Bruno Senna, and Paul di Resta is leading the race. I think Paul di Resta is coming to the pits now, so Ryan will take second place. Senna will take the lead now. So Ryan has got DRS. He's got Kurz. He's going to use half of his Kurz. He's got DRS wide open. Is he going to make a move? Thinks better of it. He's just too far back, but he comes really close to Senna in the braking zone. And behind him, Mark Webber has overtaken Lewis Hamilton, so that's crucial. That will give Ryan even more points on his rival. So now we're coming through the first sector. Ryan lost the rears a tiny bit, and he's going a bit skatish. And as I said, driving on ice it feels like, and you can sort of see with the amount of wheel twitching he's doing here, and also the gear. Oh, whoa! He's lost it. He's lost it a second time. Wow! As I said, driving on ice, and it shows. Even the best, like Ryan, who races in a proper professional ARL league, loses it, even on these rubbish hard tyres. And so he's still got a gap though, so as I said, his dominance has helped him. So we've cut to lap 10 here, and he is streaking out a nice Vettel-like lead. I don't like to say that because I know Ryan is not a fan of Vettel, but it is Vettel-esque, you've got to admit that, because he's got a nice cushion. Let's see what the gap is like once the timer comes through on Webber. It is going to be at 7 second lead. That is a lot. That is a lot. Ryan can even afford to spin out. I mean, I'm not advising he spins out, but he could afford to spin out, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, he's coming through into the stadium section now, and the crowd will be a bit bemused at this point. They'll be thinking, "What the hell? Who's this rookie?" And they'll be, waiting for the notable names like Webber and Hamilton, but they'll be thinking, "Who the hell is this guy in a Force India?" God. So now Ryan comes down to 130R. This corner and this straight has been kind to him this race, as he made that fantastic move down the inside onto Lewis Hamilton before. Although Lewis Hamilton was a bit of a, let's say, a wuss. Let's say he didn't really give Ryan much of a fight, but nonetheless, Ryan's locked up there a tiny bit. No troubles there. He's already streaked out a 7.4 second gap, so that's very good. And on to lap 11. And he's gone faster again. Obviously, I don't think he'll be setting a fast start with the Grand Prix at this stage, because on these tyres, they just aren't very good, really. I don't know why they had such a big tyre gap. It bemuses me, really. But he's coming into the first sector, and he's going to gain some more time, obviously. But actually, the AI are quite quick through here. But Ryan should be pretty quick. He's got a pad, and I always think that this track suits people who use pads, especially this first sector. I think maybe the second or third sector maybe suits a wheel a bit more. Generally, wheels are faster, but this track I think does suit a pad more. Yeah, because you can just make a sharper turn with the joystick rather than having to rotate a wheel. So now we're coming across that apex quite nicely. Let's look at the gap now to Mark Webber. 7.4 still, so keeping the gap. And Mark Webber certainly is keeping Ryan honest, because Ryan can't back down, but he could make a mistake saying that, you know. So coming through to the stadium section again, and at this point the crowd again will be thinking, who the hell is this guy? Get him out of the way. Surely he has to make a pit stop, but no. Ryan is in the lead of this race, and he is dominating in utter fashion. And at this point, I'm not lying, I'm watching this and I'm thinking it's maybe time for a nice cup of tea, as I'm British. You know, maybe a nice tea time, a few biscuits at this point, because basically nothing's really happening. Ryan's dominating this, and fair play to him. Let's look at the gap again. It's going to go up again, isn't it? Yeah, 7.8 seconds. How the hell is this happening? Wow, Ryan, you are a quick man. If you watch this back, Ryan, you are a quick man. You put people like me to shame who use a wheel. So, we're coming through to lap 12, and he's going to take the first corner nice, and I think he's still got a bit of spare fuel, so he could push, remember. So he's kind of just laying off a tiny bit. Look at that, 2 laps worth of fuel still left, and Mark Webber is 8.1 behind him, so basically, Ryan could put his feet up, could potentially, you know, drive the joysticks with his feet at this point, because I don't think Webber's going to catch him. Ryan can maybe ask for a drink, get a nice sip of water. Maybe, I think Ryan could even stop on track and take a piss and then come back, and he'd still be in the lead at this point, because he is dominating. But he's getting a bit of wheel spin here, so we'll see what happens towards the end. He's getting a bit of wheel spin, so these tyres aren't suiting him or the track very well, so he's going to have to watch out. Obviously Ryan goes no assists, so no traction control, and the gearing he does himself, so obviously tyre wear is an issue, but he can sort of manage that by upshifting a bit earlier. So he's now coasting through, letting the car roll through the section, really taking that apex nicely, and it really is a pleasure to watch him, compared to my driving, where I probably would go on the grass a bit and then maybe spin out and rage quit or something like that, I don't know. So now we're coming through 130R nice and flat out in that Force India, and it's looking mighty strong here. We're coming on to the last lap of the Grand Prix, and it's basically just going to be a, you know, screw you lap, because he can just coast effectively. He can probably weave around, wave to the fans already. I mean it's not customary, it's a bit rude, but he could change up to mix 3, so maybe Ryan's going for a daring fastest lap here. We'll watch his hot lap, maybe we'll call it a hot lap. Let's see, he's gone a tiny bit wide there when he's coming to the first sector. Going to duck down into the left, then right straight away, taking it very nicely into second and third gear. Going to change down to second and third quickly, using both those gears very effectively. And now he's coming through. There's the Ferris wheel on the right, and he swoops down, a bit of tyre screeching there. Gets that apex on the right nicely and goes up the hill. And now we're going through to the section. Kimi Räikkönen set the fastest lap, and we've got a huge runoff area on the left. And I'm guessing that huge runoff area, they probably want to extend it even more after Grosjean's antics of last year. You know, Grosjean, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, I know he's not crashed yet in 2013, but you never know, guys, you never know. And as I'm speaking, Ryan went wide a bit, so it looks like the fastest lap is not to be, but he is still going to come home in a dominant fashion. Mark Webber will come second, Lewis Hamilton third, his rival, and the championship will be hotting up in the last few races, and it might go even down to the wire. You never know. I know in my personal experience, both my seasons, I've done 2 seasons in career mode myself on my channel, and they both went down to the wire in Brazil. So perhaps we could see something else like that in Ryan's career mode. We'll have to see. So now we're coming through 130. We're going down to the chicane, and it looks like Ryan's going to come home for a very, very nice win here in the Force India. Probably, maybe could have been expected. He is a very fast driver. So now he comes through, he's going to weave, and Ryan wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Brilliant win from him, and it was a pleasure to watch this race. I think, to be fair, the race was finished in the first few corners and on the second lap, but it was a very nice race nonetheless, and he wins. Mark Webber second, Lewis Hamilton third, Jenson Button fourth, Nico Rosberg fifth, Sebastian Vettel sixth, Roman Grosjean didn't crash out. Well done to him. I mean, 7th place, we don't even talk about that. It's just well done that he didn't crash out. Fernando Alonso 8th, very poor for him. Sergio Perez 9th, Bruno Senna getting to the top 10. Very nice. Kimi Räikkönen not in the top 10, very strange there. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this episode of his career mode. Give it a like if you did. Also comment below, give Ryan some feedback, because I think Ryan is looking to do 1 or 2 more guest commentaries, bringing some other people in from the F1 community. So comment below if you enjoyed it, give it a like, and you can give Ryan some feedback. As well, if you liked my commentary style, be sure to check out my channel Aarava on PS3. I do F1 career mode as well. So let's look at the standings. What? Oh my god, a 3-point gap. That is some tense shit right there. Wow, that is tense, guys. If you are new to Ryan as well, I'll subscribe for this hotting up championship right here. It could go down to the wire. And as I mentioned, I do F1 career mode. Currently I'm doing the F1 Road to Glory, where I stay in Marussia until I can win the World Championship. Yes, staying in Marussia, you heard me correctly. And I'm not as good as Ryan, so I'm failing a bit, I'm raging a bit. So be sure to check that out and subscribe to me and Ryan if you're new to both of us. And wow, Force India, 2nd in the championship. How the hell is he doing that? So let's watch Ryan celebrate this podium. A well-deserved one, I think, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of his career mode. A fantastic race here in Japan, and he'll be going back to his hotel and having that sushi. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. I've been Aarava, and I hope to see some of you guys around.